I ruined my family's life and don't regret it. This all happened 10 years ago when I was 19. Around the holidays, I found out my then boyfriend Kevin was cheating on me with my older sister Jen. I was devastated because Jen and I were close, and she was my role model. Not only that, but Kevin was honestly my first big love, so it was crushing. Everything was made so much worse when my parents sided with Jen. She had always been a bit of the golden child, but my parents had never shown their favoritism to this extent. They kept telling me that these things happen, but family always forgives and crap like that. It made me cry a lot, and I kept telling them I couldn't forgive them. My dad told me to stop being so dramatic. My mom said I was a disappointment because she raised me better. Jen just said she was sorry, but she and Kevin loved each other and never meant to hurt me. I honestly just felt so alone and depressed and worthless. I was like a zombie for months. I mostly just slept and refused to talk to my sister. My parents kept telling me to move on because, even if it hurt, Jen was still my sister, and she was more important than some guy. Eventually, it was too much, and I decided to delete myself. I was convinced that Kevin was the love of my life, and I just couldn't get over how he betrayed me and how my family made me feel so alone and crazy. I wrote a furious and depressing sewer slide note that talked about everything that had happened and scheduled it to be published on my Tumblr after I died. Fortunately, my roommate/best friend Alice found me after I overdosed on pills. I was unconscious for a while before I woke up. Then, I was put on hold because I still very obviously wanted to sewer slide and was considered a danger to myself. I was there for a while and only had contact with my grandparents since they were the only ones I wanted to talk to. When I finally got to go home, my grandparents picked me up and took me to their house. They are why I'm still here, and I love them more than anything. They put me in therapy, got my medication, and were with me the whole time. I never asked about my family, and they never told me anything. At the time, I just assumed they were mad at me for being dramatic. Then I got the real story from Alice a month later. Her then girlfriend had been pissed on my behalf and shared my Tumblr post on her Facebook. She even tagged my parents, Jen and Kevin, and called them out. Her then girlfriend was also one of those people who had 1,000 plus friends, so the post got shared, and family, friends, and strangers attacked my family and Kevin. It was a poop show. A lot of people called Jen a whore and my parents heartless monsters. My mom was ostracized by her church. My dad's friends stopped talking to him. Many of Jen's friends were disgusted by her behavior and ditched her. Kevin got backlash, too, because he lied to his super religious family that we had broken up amicably and said God guided him to Jen. My grandparents told my mom that she was dead to them for how much she and my family hurt me. They were the ones that forced my parents and Jen to back off and leave me alone and to never contact me until I reached out to them. But I never did because they were dead to me too. Jen and Kevin broke up after his parents sent him away to find Jesus again. I have no idea what became of him. Jen had to move to get away from everyone calling her a whore. I haven't spoken or even seen her in 10 years. Last I heard, she's got 3 kids from 2 different men and is not with either. My parents became social outcasts and are now just homebodies. We rarely talk, and it's all superficial. They miss my birthdays, my graduation, my engagement, and even my wedding. They won't be part of my child's life either. I know it hurts them. I tell people around me that I don't care about them or their feelings, which is true to an extent. But in reality, I'm glad. I'm glad they're hurting and suffering. I'm glad their lives